The Houston Rockets are forced into an impossible decision. After the results of the draft lottery did not quite go our way, the Houston Rockets have a lot of discussions in terms of what they are going to do with their first round pick. Are they going to keep it or are they going to trade it? And we're going to break down what those scenarios look like in this video. And first, we appreciate all the support that we have been getting here on Rockets Digest. By the end of the week, we hope to reach that 1,000 subscriber mark. However, 93.1% of you that are watching these videos are not yet subscribed. To those of you who are subscribed, thank you very much. If you are not subscribed yet, you're going to want to subscribe if you want to get all your Rockets content throughout the offseason. We are covering it. It's all going to be right here on this channel. It's completely free, so go ahead, hit that button below. But we are here to talk about the NBA lottery, the NBA draft, and the Rockets ended up with the 10th pick. We did not win the Cooper Flag sweepstakes. We did not even crack the top four. The Mavs did, the Sixers did, the Spurs did. Couldn't get the luck that they have, I suppose, whatever. But we currently sit at the 10th pick. And so GM Rafael Stone has a tough decision to make. Do we want to draft somebody with that 10th pick that can help our team next season? Or should we trade that pick for someone else? Whether that would be, Giannis or, some possible shooters around the area. We'll break all that down. But we're going to break down both sides of it. First off, with the keeping the pick, if we were to make a selection, who would we go for? What would that look like? What dominoes would have to fall in place in terms of what kind of position player we want to draft? And all starts with Steven Adams. Steven Adams, as many of you know, had a fantastic playoff series against the Warriors. Also had a fantastic year with Ime Udoka utilizing that double big lineup. Steven Adams, my favorite player on the team, probably our most valuable player besides Alperen Şengün in the playoffs, is an unrestricted free agent. And so there was a lot of discussion in terms of what he is going to do this offseason. Is he going to re-sign with the Rockets? Is he going to go to another team? He is relatively cheap as far as bigs go. He's been in the league for 11 seasons and, over 10,000 minutes played. And so there's a little wear and tear with the big man, but still, any team would be lucky to have him. Now, is there any indication of where Steven Adams' head is at in terms of a possible decision? No clear signs yet. He has shown signs of appreciation for Houston and, him liking being here. We don't usually do this on Rockets Digest. We're going to break down this Instagram post that has a lot of people talking. I'm sure many of you have seen it, but Steven Adams posted this about 6 days ago on Instagram. Journalism. He said, Houston, thank you. The energy, passion, and unwavering support you brought to the arena this year were nothing short of incredible. I hope we represented this city with the pride and resilience that define what it means to be a Houstonian. Going to battle with the brothers was an honor. We fought with grit, heart, and determination, displaying the kind of resilience that goes beyond the court. Proud of the boys and everything we learned together. This sign, prayer sign, heart sign. And so a lot of people were kind of freaking out. Does this mean he's leaving Houston? Does this mean he is not coming back? For a player that was so crucial to our rotation, to leave could be detrimental to this team next year. And if he were to leave, it would mean all signs pointing to drafting, a big man and with that 10th overall pick. And so there's a lot of questions. This is, in my opinion, a very purposely kind of vague statement from Steven Adams. He understands that there's chances that he may not come back to Houston. There's a team could offer him more money, a better chance at a championship. All understood. I think at the end of the day, after the end of the season, he just wanted to show the appreciation for Houston, for all the fans out there, which quite honestly just makes me want him more. This is like the perfect guy you would want on the team. One, he shows it all on the basketball court, leaves it all out there, and has been key for us the entire season. And two, when you talk about Ime Udoka building a a family culture, something that even Fred VanVleet has talked about in terms of him wanting to come back, how this team feels like a family. These group of guys, the camaraderie within them is unmatched. And so to have a guy like Steven Adams and to show this kind of support to Houston is a fantastic thing. Makes me want him even more. But if he decides to go to a better team for more money or whatever the case may be, we're talking about possibly drafting a big man, a backup for Alperen Şengün, Adams' replacement. And we've talked about this man right here, Kaman Maluach, quite a lot on this channel. Center from Duke, outstanding player, a lot of potential upsides to drafting this guy. Led them to, or not led them because that was Cooper Flag, but was part of the big reason why they were such a good team in a Final Four team this past college basketball season. And so there's that to begin with. Now, if we were to keep Steven Adams, if he was to stay on this team, you would potentially be looking for, shooters in this draft. Who can we possibly get? Who would be available at that 10th pick? And a guy that's been brought up many a times is the other Duke teammate, right? Con Knipple. He was a standout shooter for the Duke Blue Devils. He was a freshman, and to be a freshman on Duke and be able to get such valuable minutes and make an impact speaks volumes, in my opinion, on the play style of Con Knipple. I broke down his game in a previous video about a month ago about him being a very, very solid shooter. Defensively, there's some, weaknesses there in terms of moving laterally, but overall, that's the guy we kind of want in terms of shooting ability. However, I do want to also point out that, in my opinion, we already have a guy who is a very good shooter, and he's kind of on the bench. That's Reed Sheppard. He's proven to have been that guy back in college. He hasn't played much this year. Again, third overall pick, still a rookie, still development to have. And so I'm kind of on the fence of like, if it's a great decision to take this pick, when in reality you kind of already have a guy kind of like Con Knipple who is currently on your bench. And so by all signs and where they point, I feel like this is a team that is looking to possibly trade this pick. And it's something that I kind of hope they do, considering that this is a team who wasn't far off coming back from a 3-1 deficit against the Warriors, and it be so clear that not having a veteran shooter, reliable scorer, was detrimental to the team. And that makes me believe that they will possibly trade this pick for someone like that. And so I look at guys who's available out there, and there's, talk about Giannis. I know a lot of people were like, oh, let's get Giannis. And Giannis is a great playmaker. He's a game changer for any team. We are currently, I believe, the third or fourth favorite to land Giannis, and so there's that. But if we're talking about, a guy that could maintain the continuity of this team, but also be someone that we can grab as a shooter, but not giving up some of our main guys like a Jalen Green, who the Rockets have said they wanted to keep, without giving up Şengün, which they will never give. I don't say never, but because he's traded Luka. But Şengün is a non-negotiable. He's staying. Amen Thompson. I feel like that's going to be a fantastic defensive player, or continue to be a fantastic defensive player, one of the best in the league in just a few years. But you also look at guys from like the Celtics, right? I broke this down yesterday. The Celtics going to make changes. Before Tatum's injury, they were already looking to make changes, and trade destinations for them would be a team like Houston. These are all the contracts they would have to pay. And after, if they lose to the Knicks again, they are eliminated. And so they are going to reevaluate their roster regardless of what happens with that. And so you look at this list. Who could we possibly get that isn't insanely expensive, but also a very good shooter? Oh, how about a guy like Derek White? I am a big Derek White fan. If he were to come to Houston, I think that would be absolutely tremendous. There's been no official reports on this whatsoever. However, I want to stress that if the Celtics are looking to trade players and the Houston Rockets are looking for a shooter, there is a clear answer to that question, and that is a guy like Derek White, who I feel has proven himself in being a valuable role player on the Boston Celtics, helping them win a championship just last year. And so that is someone who I believe could be a guy that the front office could be looking into. Okay, he is a valuable player. And so that is the case for, trading this pick. If you're going to keep it, you're going to grab another young guy who would just make this team even younger than it is. And in my opinion, this team is only a very good shooter or two away from being complete. Of course, Jalen Green would need to prove that he is in the clutch, or he can be a clutch player and reliable player in the playoffs. There's more, internal things to work on, but in terms of things that the front office can do, I do think trading this 10th pick could benefit this team in the more, short term. As we've said, this is a team that's in a win now mode, and they are only a shooter away. And so with that, let me know in the comments what you think we should do with this pick. Should we take the 10th pick, get a shooter, get a big man, or should we trade this away to acquire someone better? Let me know in the comments. This has been an episode full of Rockets Digest. See you next time.